will be as if you're here. No, because the school blocked my channel stats. Okay, what do you want me to do from page 856? Where do we start? What do you want? What?
We started at number 7.
Okay, number 7.
Wait, Alden, do you have a pencil?
You can look in my desk drawer. Okay, find the period and amplitude of each cosine function. It says that the x scales are going by pies.
Yeah.
So that first little tick mark is a pi. How long does it take for it to go from, I mean, they give you this whole graph right here, but remember for the period you just want to know the length of time it takes to do one cycle. So 2 pi, yeah, because if you look on the axes, there's a little tick mark right there, that's pi. So that means the period is 2 pi. Okay? Then it says the amplitude. So if you look at it, it says the y scale is by 1. So what's the amplitude of this function? Is it 3? I thought. Oh, yeah, you're right. I'm not very good. So the amplitude of that is 3. Determine the values of x from 0 to 2 pi, where the maximum, minimum values, and zeros occur. So if we look at the maximum values, there's a high point right here. That's at x equals what?
Over 3.
At x equals
0.
Okay, and then there's a maximum point over here. That's at x equals what? 2 pi. Then it says where do the minimum of values occur. So there's a 1 right there. That happens at x equals pi. And then it also says where are the zeros. And that is where the equation crosses the x-axis. So that would be here or here. And that would be where and where? X equals what?
Pi over 2.
Pi over 2 and
3 pi over
3 pi over 2. Okay? And that's what we got going there.
How do you do the maximum and minimum?
Well, I just looked at where's the high points of the graph. And again, they just want between 0 and 2 pi. So we really didn't need this left-hand part of the graph at all. Okay? So this is a high point, and that happens where x equals 0. And this is a high point, and that happens where x equals 2 pi. Okay? So then if you look at number 8, it's pretty much the same dealio. The scale's all the same and whatnot. This one is packed in a little bit tighter, though.
So is this pi over 2? Or
So if, again, we just look at the right-hand side, because that's all that matters, this is one cycle of the function, right? So how long did that take? I don't know, that's funky, so let's do it a different way. How many cycles does it complete in the 2 pi distance?
3.
It goes down and up once, down and up twice, down and up 3 times. So if it does 3 complete cycles in a distance of 2 pi, then that means the period is 2 pi divided by 3. Okay, so that's hard to see from just looking at one cycle right here because it doesn't say what that x value is. So instead, if you go at the whole distance 2 pi, it has 3 cycles in there, so that means the period has to be 2 pi divided by 3. And we talked about that with the sine function. Remember the 2 pi over b thing? Okay. All right, what is the amplitude? Yep, the amplitude is 1 because it bounces in between -1 and 1. Where do the maximum values happen?
On the x.
Yeah, so what are the x values here, 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 and here?
0.
I'll do 0 and 2 pi.
Is that what 2 pi over 2
pi over 3, right? Because that's how long it takes for it to complete one cycle. So this x value has to be 2 pi over 3. And then it takes another 2 pi over 3 to get to there, so that would be what?
2 pi over 3 pi over 3.
Nope.
4 pi.
4 pi over 3, because 2 pi over 3 plus 2 pi over 3 is 4 pi over 3. And if you did the next one by adding another 2 pi over 3 on there, you would get 6 pi over 3, which is 2 pi. Okay? All right, then we need the minimums.
That one is
So that's here, here, and here. Well, if this happens at 2 pi over 3, this happens halfway in between, right?
2 pi over.
So that's going to be pi over 3. I see why you guys want to really get this on your own. Okay, and then the next minimum, I'm going to add 2 pi over 3 onto that. So that would be 3 pi over 3, which would be just pi. And then if I take that pi and add another 2 pi over 3 over that, well, no, I need to get a, well, how many, what? No. How many pi's over 3 is pi? So 3 pi over 3 plus 2 pi over 3 makes 5 pi over 3. This could be like the best day of my life, by the way.
Take a picture.
Because like if I could choose all the people that would be gone, that'd be
Oh my God, we made the cut.
Barely. And you guys that are watching this video at home,
No, none
I
of
don't
these-
mean
None of them are.
Tucker or Courtney or Kendra or who else is not. But all of those people, that's not going to be some other, I'm sure. It wasn't you.
Forrest.
I don't mean Forrest, you know, she was here. Okay, and then where did the zeros occur?
False.
Where do the zeros happen?
At 0. Oh gosh, I don't like these.
I don't like this.
That's too
don't
many.
Now this is going to be halfway in between here. Where it crosses is halfway between 0 and pi over 3. So what's that? Pi over 6.
You just multiply the bottom number by 2.
Uh-huh.
Wait, do you have an E in here? That's no.
Uh-huh.
It's like we're doing like how it's called.
Oh, no, that's not it.
Okay,
The Chinese are like, what?
Okay, potato ends in an O, potatoes is O-E-S. Okay, so, sorry.
Hey, is the next one 2 pi?
So now the question is, how far apart are these little guys right here? And this is a little bit confusing, but they're each, but if I go from here down and then back up again, that's half of a cycle. Okay? So if the whole cycle is 2 pi over 3, then this distance right here has to be pi over 3. So I'm going to just keep adding a pi over 3 each time. But right, since my denominator already is pi over 6, instead of adding a pi over 3, I'm going to add a 2 pi over 6. So pi over 6 plus 2 pi over 6 is 3 pi over 6, which reduces to 3 pi over 6 reduces to pi over 2, because 3 goes into 6 twice.
I am too.
Yeah, this isn't pretty. You are? Oh, sweet. I'd love to see that. That'd be great. Yeah, that would pretty much like make the entire school year fun.
What happened?
If she has student freak out right now, like threw everything on her desk, slammed her desk over, I don't understand! You're not teaching me!
Fun.
So let me try and calm you down a little bit. Okay. Do you understand where we got the pi over 6? Okay, good. Do you understand where we got the pi over 3? No? Okay, do you understand where we got the 2 pi over 3? Okay, good. So let's start there. So a complete cycle is 2 pi over 3, right? Okay? Well, this low point right there is halfway in between the whole thing. So if this whole thing right here is 2 pi over 3, then this low point has to be half of that of pi over 3, okay? And then we can keep playing that same game. This low point right here is going to be halfway between 0 and pi over 3, which is pi over 6. What? So the way I found pi over 6 is I went pi over 3 divided by 2. Okay, but dividing by 2 is the same as multiplying by the reciprocal, so times 1/2. Oh, she's hulking out on me. Okay, and then pi times 1 is pi, 3 times 2 is 6. Did you see it? Okay?
I didn't give the whole arm again.
No, I don't think I'm going to. It's just, I don't, nobody wants to go see Avengers, so.
Do you have a class
Class trip to the Avengers? Okay, And then, so we would just have to keep adding pi over 6 to this each time. Okay? And I don't want to do that because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them, so whatever. Okay? All right, now what? So we do 9 just to make sure we get it.
Are we still on zeros?
No, we decided not to do all of them. There's 4 more of them, and that's
So, Aldrich, you know what I was just thinking about that I got really excited for?
what?
Wipeout.
Oh yeah, it's coming up, isn't it?
I love that show.
It is coming up. That's the only time I ever watched that show.
Kate like wants me to watch The Bachelorette and The Bachelor.
It's an Iron Man Band-Aid.
It's just
I
like
like
up on the end.
Iron Man is
Iron Man's
awesome.
a bomb. It's awesome.
Just because of Robert. He's a
Whoa,
total
that is you. I have not moved.
playboy entrepreneur
That was
philanthropist. Anybody else? You see the Avengers, Mr. Aldridge? I did.
I got that reference.
I did.
Yeah. Aldrich, may I use the
Did you get
restroom?
the reference? Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Absolutely. I love that movie.
Okay, so let's try this again, and now everybody's gonna go, oh, you ain't doing stuff anymore. Now it's gonna be easy, right? So this scale is the same, it's going by pies. So, and I tried to make a little better drawing here so we can see what's going on.
That looks right in the middle, so
Right, so what's the period?
I don't
No, it's going by pies though, so this mark right here is pi, and that mark right there is 2 pi, so it's pi. Right?
Period. I thought we were talking
All
about
this
What's the-
stuff pie is making me hungry.
I'm starving.
What's the amplitude? 1.
Ooh, no.
no.
Okay, so that's the easy part, right? Period and the amplitude?
Yeah.
Okay, now we need to figure out where the maximums happen. Good?
So 0,
Zero,
pi, and 2 pi.
pi.
Yeah, 0 pi to pi.
And 2 pi. Okay?
This one's easy.
This one is easy. That last one was wacky. And then the minimums are at?
Same.
No,
Or no, it's gonna be
It's
pi
gonna
over 3.
pi over 2,
How's it pi over 3?
because it's halfway in between.
Oh, okay.
Right?
And then 3 pi over 2.
Yep.
Wow.
And then the zeros.
Over here.
So this is the same thing that I was explaining to Andy before. To find this minimum, we said, okay, this is pi. So the minimum is going to be halfway between those, which is pi over 2, right? And then the 0 right here is going to be halfway in between those, which is pi over 4. Okay? What's that? Yeah.
Well, what about
We
the
just
other
didn't find
one?
them all on that one.
So that should be pi over what?
So that one is pi over 4.
That one's pi over
Plus you.
1.
Now this 0 is going to be right in between, halfway between pi over 2 and pi.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, what are
Nice.
these?
Okay, this right here is half a pi.
It's just like fractions.
Yeah, yeah, this is a half pi, that's a whole pi, so right in between the half and a whole is 3/4. So that's 3 pi over 4.
Oh, I hate fractions.
What about this one right here?
Oh.
5 pi over 4, very nice. Okay, so Jefferson has a little
7 pi
pattern
over 4.
going
7
for
pi.
us, what'd you say?
Read that 2 to the top.
Adding 2 to the top each time. This is 1 pi over 4, this is 3 pi over 4, this is 5 pi over 4, and the next one will be 7 pi over 4. And that's a very important pattern to recognize. That's going to come up again. All right? Okay, now you can do 10 on your own, yes?
No.
Okay. Let me give you a couple of minutes to do that on your own.
He's going so fast, he's got dry back.
Who's drawing?
Okay.
He's such a small dry back.
Oh, why is he not writing? Why is he not writing?
Okay, 16, 17, and 18 are super, super easy. We did this last week with the sine functions,
Oh, wait.
right? And it's the same thing with the cosine functions. So,
Would it be 2 cosine b?
yeah, so it would be y equals 2 cosine, because the amplitude is 2. And then the only hard thing is we have to figure out what goes in front of the x. And b is 2 pi divided by the period.
Which is pi.
And so since the period is pi, 2 pi divided by pi is 2. So it's 2 cosine 2x or theta or whatever you want.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
What don't you get?
The whole thing. Where you just plug in numbers and stuff.
Well, the number that goes in front is the amplitude. And so since the amplitude is 2, a 2 goes in front. Okay? And the number that goes in front of the variable is 2 pi divided by this number right there. So 2 pi divided by pi,
It's 2.
pi cancel is 2, so that's why it's
Okay,
2x.
so that's 70.
Okay?
So
So
what was
7.
with the right side, the equation?
This is just your general, this is your cheat sheet. That's how you figure it out.
I put mine on one of these sides.
Okay, well, we should have some separate numbers. So for this one, it says the amplitude is pi over 2. And the period is 3. Okay, so it's going to be y equals
Pi over 2 cosine.
pi over 2 cosine
2 pi over
2 pi over 3 x.
Now, if it asks.
And now I'm going to release the responsibility to you and have you work on number 18 on your own. Yeah. Okay. Which one? Okay, you can do that.
I got that one.
That's good. 2 times. I got that like when you guys were doing I got it.
You got
So
it?
we have to find a period.
Yes.
Okay, so number 19, in order to come up with an equation, we need to know the amplitude and we need to know the period, right? So if you look at the graph, the amplitude is easy, that's obviously 3. Okay, the period, how long does it take to complete one cycle?
Pi.
Pi. So the answer is going to be y equals, wait for it, think about it.
Pi.
Nope,
2.
nope, nope.
3.
Somebody saved my life.
Wait, what's the question?
I'd rather not.
3
It's
cosine.
not 3 cosine.
What?
How is it
What?
not?
Look at the graph. Nice. Negative 3 cosine. It starts at the bottom, not at the top. Okay.
Definitely.
And then since the period is pi, 2 pi over pi, pi's cancel, so you get 2x. Okay?
We did that last part.
Yeah, it's the same thing as we were doing on the other one. Just figure out what
So
goes here.
basically, you just divide by 2 pi.
You go 2 pi divided by it, yeah.
And you got pi.
Wait.
By looking at the picture. It says
Completing
it's-
one cycle.
Right, completes one cycle and a distance of pi. Okay, so for number 20, Katie,
Yeah.
how long does it take to complete one cycle?
Pi.
There's no pi's on that one.
Oh. So 8.
8. So that
That's
means for
still
number
over 2
20, the
cycles.
period is 8.
But isn't that still over 2?
And the amplitude is what? 2. Okay, and now this one starts at the top, so there's no trick. So it's y equals 2 cosine. And then again, just like all the other way around, 2 pi over 8 is not 4 pi. It reduces to pi
Pi
over
over
4.
4. Yay, that's what I got.
Okay?
Of course, we missed a lot.
It was worth it.
It was worth it.
You can
27.
watch it on YouTube.
Or you can just tell me. No, that's cheating.
Okay, 27. So first thing is the period. Now we have to do the same thing we were doing before, but backwards. Before we said b equals 2 pi divided by the period. But that also means that the period is equal to 2 pi divided by b. So in this one right here, what is b? Nope. Nope.
Wait, how do we do
B is the number in front of the variable. So 1. B is 1. So the period is 2 pi.
do we have to find our amplitude from that also?
We gotta wait and make sure everybody understands how that was happening. The number in front of the variable is what B is. And so since it's 1 theta, B is 1. So to find the period, I go 2 pi divided by that. And 2 pi divided by 1 is 2 pi. Okay?
And the range?
All right, the range, they haven't asked us about this before. The range is what's the lowest value it has and what's the highest value.
6
And since it's a 3 right there, the graph is going to bounce between -3 and 3. So the range is -3 to 3.
And then our amplitude is 3.
Yeah, and then the amplitude.
Oh, this is a negative, this is so fun.
Okay, for the first one, 2 pi.
So our range for this one is going to be -1 and 1.
The range for number 28 would be
Yeah.
from -1 to 1.
Yeah. The period is, hold on.
And then for the period, would it just be pi?
Wait, I need to figure out.
2 pi divided by 2. 2's cancel, and we do pi.
Okay.
And then the amplitude is -1.
It's 2.
The amplitude is 1. The amplitude is always a positive number because it represents a distance.
So 29. Oh,
How far did we go on this assignment? Just to 34?
34.
Yeah. So,
Okay, so I'm going to say you guys are good now.
okay.